I think it's time that we had a conversation about a really fun setup to use in this game. Borderline overpowered, at least for the hardcore mode. What's going on, guys? Grey Disciple back with another gameplay. In the background, I am running with a setup that we need to discuss. Let's start with the rig. The rig that I'm running is Merc. Now, Merc has some pretty cool capabilities, but very few people actually run the perk that I'm going to tell you about. First off, I prefer kinetic armor. Anytime I run in the hardcore mode, I'm looking more of the specialist type abilities that are non-lethal. Because most of the lethal abilities from the rigs, or if you go back to Black Ops 3, the lethal abilities, you don't want to run them in hardcore because they have a higher likelihood of hitting your teammates. And of course, in Infinite Warfare, if you hit your teammate, you die because it has ricocheted, which is a great thing for the game, okay? I've been able to go on very long streaks because my teammates haven't killed me. I'm actually gonna... Oh man, in this game right here, it should have been a juggernaut. I just want to let you know, in 3 minutes, the first 3 minutes of this game, it should have been a juggernaut, but I killed myself with Thor, okay? And then later on in the game, this should have easily been a 100-kill game. But later on, I'm on this streak and I'm moving really fast and I shoot one of my teammates and I kill myself, probably 50 points off of a warden. But that's neither here nor there. Alright, so I'm running Merc. I got the reactive armor ability, which is so overpowered in hardcore. I can't even explain to you how powerful this is. I have gone up against 5 guys with the reactive armor on, all of them shooting at me, and I've been able to kill all 5 of them. Okay? So, and it may be connection dependent. It may be. The main thing though is his perk called Man at Arms. I believe it's called Man at Arms anyways. It does 2 things. Number 1, it gives you maximum ammo. So you don't have to run scavenger, almost like Bandolier. If you guys remember Bandolier in old Call of Duties. But it also gives you no movement penalty from your weapon, i.e. LMGs. You guys know in every single Call of Duty, when you put on a light machine gun, you are penalized in your movement capability, which it should be because the guns weigh so much compared to like a little SMG. Well, what Man at Arms does is it allows you to run as fast as you can run with an SMG on a normal loadout with an LMG. So I love to pair it up with the Mauler. Many of you use the Mauler back in the beta, and it has its upsides and its downsides. But here's a couple little tricks for you. I'm going to give you some perks to use. First, you're going to run Ghost. Obviously, UAV spam in hardcore is ridiculous. Then, I want you to put on Cold-Blooded. I'm starting to notice that Cold-Blooded is a much needed perk in this game because more and more people are running portable radar, so it's going to help you there. Then what I want you to do is I want you to put on Tracker because you are going to be running so much, okay? And the last one is Gung Ho. Now why Gung Ho? Because you can fire from the hip, alright? And it's very important. As for attachments, I want you to put on Quick Draw because even though we're going to be running and gunning, you're going to have times where the enemy's going to be too far away for you to hip fire, so you're going to want to ADS. So I want you to have Quick Draw on it. You do not need stock. The improvement that stock has on the Mauler or on LMGs in general is almost non-existent. At least I haven't seen the benefit of it. So what I want you to do is I want you to put on laser sight. So let's picture this real quick. We have a beast, a huge character in Merc, alright? And he is hauling around the map. He's flying, okay? He's got an LMG with a faster fire rate than some of the SMGs. We got a laser sight to increase the accuracy with the hip fire, and then Gung Ho, which allows you to fire while running. And on top of that, you got Tracker to where you can run the enemies down. And since you have Man at Arms, you don't need Scavenger because you will never run out of bullets with the Mauler. This is such a fun setup to use. Now in the gameplay in the background, obviously I'm laying waste. Now some of this has to do with the fact that I understand certain flank routes and rush routes, and knowing that I can take the enemy by surprise. But one of the things I like about this LMG, especially in the hardcore mode, is you don't get a whole lot of hit markers with it, whereas a lot of the SMGs you will get hit markers. So, I mean, we're talking 1 bullet kill, firing from the hips, moving super fast, which throws a lot of people off. You can do some pretty disgusting things. And there's enough ammo in its whole magazine to take out somewhere roughly around 12 guys without reloading. So it allows you the ability to spray. You know, pray and spray. Man, there has never been a better definition of pray and spray than this setup right here. Is it overpowered? In the right hands, this is probably one of the most lethal setups that you can run in the game. I mean, you run this setup on Genesis and you get your hip fire down. I mean, it's a guaranteed 100 kill game, I would say. Now I'm talking about hardcore. I haven't tried it out in the core mode. And everybody keep in mind when you watch my channel and I'm doing setup things, just understand that I am speaking from the perspective of hardcore first, unless I specify differently, okay? As for score streak loadout, here's what I'm finding. UAV is a necessity. Unfortunately, sometimes I get into lobbies where literally every guy on the other team is running Ghost, and it kind of stinks because you don't get a whole lot of assist points, but I love UAV. If you don't want to run UAV, then run the counter UAV. You got to run one of those two, okay? The second one would be a toss-up between the counter UAV and the Shock Sentry. The Shock Sentry does work. Fewer and fewer people are running Blind Eye. I think a lot of people ran Blind Eye whenever the game first came out because it was the only perk that they really had that they could grab before they got Ghost. But now that people have Dexterity and they have Ghost, Blind Eye really isn't an option for many. So the Shock Sentry is actually doing a lot of work now. And then for my last kill streak or score streak, whatever you want to call it, I run the Warden. The Warden is easily the best score streak in the game. Now the RC8 is nothing to slouch about, okay? I mean, it's great, but the amount of points that you have to score in order to get the RC8, it's not worth it. And the AP3X or the Apex, whatever you want to call it, the last one, while lethal, and that thing is so lethal, the amount of points again that it takes you to get to that, it's not worth it because it'll only net you somewhere between 7 to 10 kills when you call it in. So I don't see the point in going that far. If you go all the way back to like Black Ops 2, for example, my favorite score streak loadout was Hellstorm Missile Lightning Strike Sentry. A lot of people love to run the Orbital VSAT with Dogs and Swarm, but see, by the time you could actually get to those set of streaks, I could have recast my Hellstorm Missile Lightning Strike in Sentry 3 times. And plus, I like to run streaks that I know that I can get consistently in a game. My goal is always to loop streaks 2 to 3 times in a game. Now, I can get an Apex, an AP3X, and I can get an RC8. That's not a problem. But the question is, can I do that multiple times in a game? And if I don't feel like I can, then I'm not going to run that setup. Because I will get more kills by running lower streaks than I will by only getting my high streak 1 time in a game. So just keep that in mind. I do wish that they would change something. The Juggernaut medal is really not as impressive as a nuclear, and I think some YouTube channels are taking advantage of the fact that your score streak kills count towards your Juggernaut medal. Most Juggernauts that I see on YouTube now, I would say only 17 to 18 kills are actually with the gun. So I don't know if they're going to do something about that. I do like the fact that in order to get the deatomizer, you have to get 25 gun kills with that specific gun. I hope all this helps you. Remember, we're running the Merc rig. You can run reactive armor if you want to. I know that handheld gun or the bull charge, a lot of people like those in the core mode. But the man-at-arms, which allows you no movement penalty, and you pair it up with an LMG, it is so much fun running around the map. And then if you have laser sight on the LMG as well as gung-ho and you're firing from the hip, and I know the Mauler actually has a variant, and I don't know if it's from a mission team or if it's from salvage, but there is one of them that actually gives you better accuracy while firing from the hip. Man, you pair that up with laser sight, because it does stack with laser sight. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to unlock that. Now I know there's still a couple of creative class spots in this. Personally, I like running the portable radar. I know I can't constantly replenish them because I'm not running Warfighter. When I spawn in, I like to pop the radar, and it gives me a general idea of where the enemy team is. So it just helps me, kind of like a real quick heads up, like, okay, I'm going to head over here. If I want to flank, I should go around this way. So I usually run a portable radar, and then if you really want to, I would probably run a pistol as a secondary, because you still have 2 slots after you run this setup, okay? I hope this helps. You guys give it a shot. Try it out in hardcore mode. I think you'll like it. As always, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And if you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.